Star Ladies FC. All right. So thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Yeah. Good morning, my listeners at home. My name is Grace Araola. My friends calls me Striker Bali Satimi P4 Satimi
Striker
Bali.
Bali.
Yes.
Wow. Where did that come from?
From the field of play, as in when I was still very much playing. But my greatest surprise is when I got to Ibadan. There's no female football team, and that touched me so much. Like, what is really going on? As we have three FC, we don't even have any Oluyole Warriors. Oluyole Babes or
Oh,
something.
Oluyole Ladies.
Aha. So things like that got me worried. I was like, there should be things we could do to make it happen. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Before we talk about things, I know that you can play football better than Samuel.
Sure.
Samuel is a coach.
Thank God you mentioned that. And of course, I've displayed my brilliance, on the sidelines, and people can testify to it. That I'm a very brilliant man.
You've shown your mental worth, your worth. He's a coach. What inspired you to go into football?
Growing as a lady, as a child, then while in class, I don't like to, like, say, a mediocre or a second class citizen. And even in African context, they always give men higher hand in every other thing. So when it comes to football, they were like, ladies can't do it or girls can't do it. So that makes me venture into it. And throughout my primary, secondary, I play with boys, and there's no how I wouldn't dribble and score you. I don't want to know where you are coming from. I don't want to know where you are coming from.
She plays number 3. I like it of you to struggle.
Where did you grow up from?
I grew up in Abuja.
Wow.
So in the course of studying and everything, I was in Kwara, so that's why I played for Kwara Ladies. Then I featured in the Capital Queens before coming. Now getting to Ibadan, the story is different, and I was like, what is really going on? So in the course of asking questions and making inquiries on what is happening, so they said that there was some lady teams before, but because there's no fund or there's no support, the thing just die a natural death. But there are still some female players that are still much interested, but there's no platform for them to showcase their talent or their skills. So, and in the course of doing all of that, we've written to CCI, Omar Jerusalem, and the likes of people that we know that they can form and fund it. If they do it in a group, it's going to enhance. And even if government is coming to support it, at least they will have what they call their own team. So at least it's the Ibadan people your people that have the Oluyole Warriors now being sponsored by the government. If they can also form and fund this female football, thereafter, if government wants to buy it from them, it's cool. But it doesn't befit them as a pace setter.
Pace setter
State not having or lacking behind in the area of sports, like netting. They said women are not talking. Now we are here to Sorosoke, so that you can also help us in having a female football team in Ibadan and in Oyo State.
What contribution do you think female football, having a female football team and having it well entrenched in Oyo State can contribute to development of football?
Yes, there's a lot to gain if they venture into it, because now, like Lagos Salami Stadium, known as Adamasingba, even they are still working on the training pitch. Let's say this week the Oluyole Warriors are not playing, and let's say within the week the Oluyole Ladies or Queens are playing. So it's going to make that place continue to be like a recreational center for people to keep knowing and even putting their money into it. And aside that, economically, if not for Nigeria does not go to World Cup, I know perhaps there should be some major matches that this stadium can feature in the nearest future. So if they have that, if the men are doing their own and they also have the female, so they can also push it. We could see what is happening in Barcelona as they are pushing the male team, the females too, they are pushing it. And if the two is side by side, is gaining more income but if it's only to be just male team alone, that income that you have to get from it won't come. So I think economically, and even some people even like female games even than male. So I think if they venture into it, it's going to give them let me say another way of making income.
I'm sure that Samuel loves female football very well.
Well, I follow it with all intent, and of course, I actually enjoy the game. Thank God you are testifying to that. Yeah. Talking about Kwara ladies, actually, the last time I heard about Kwara ladies, at some time I was actually doing a project about female football, especially the Nigerian Division 1 Pro League. I know Kwara ladies actually participated in that particular competition. I think that was back in 2020, 2021. Were you actually part of that team?
That is the time I ventured. In short, that is what even made me to be making this move that I'm making. If you remember last year at the festival, the sports festival that happened
in Edo State, yeah.
So coming to
Were you part of any team?
Then even my contract with Kwara Lady is still much valid
till now.
I still have I still have like 2 years with them. But while I'm here to study, and I'm working on some of other things to.
Okay, you are a student right now.
Even the admission has not clicked, so I was doing my what they call it then, IGMB at Lee City University then. So before venturing, so coming to Ibadan, I was like, it's an avenue for me to call one of my 2 coaches to link me up. So getting here, it wasn't like that, and it's so disappointing. When we had to go there, they were like, so person, have you seen him for like 6 months? As is still training. So that kind of a thing does not produce results. And the position Oyawo State was, even when it comes to the soccer team, then so because assuming they have what Bayelsa used
Queens.
to Queens.
The likes
Because
of Rivers Angels,
you understand,
FC
because they are
Liverpool.
doing it often and often, almost every week. So you don't expect somebody that is training consecutively with somebody that you just pick from the road. Okay, please come and help us in doing this. So it's what you have that you are going to deliver.
Okay, now I'm quite impressed with the fact that you mentioned that you have a professional contract with Kwara Ladies. And professional contracts in Nigerian football contest is something that many people regard as a fallacy that doesn't work. We've seen it, with the biggest stars we have here, Imam Dog, Sunday Faleye at some point, At the point when a club wants to make a sale, an agent will come from somewhere and say, I own this player. Are you saying you have a professional contract with Kwara Ladies, or an agent, is the one that is more like a third party?
I don't want us to emphasize on my contract. My business here is to talk on how Oyo State is going to have their own female team.
Yeah, no, I get the point. Now, in the process of trying to plan for the future also, we have to lay the foundations right, so that when we get what we want, at the end of the day, there wouldn't be some couple of loopholes for people to explore. And people to exploit. Okay, I understand that fact also. Now, ever since you've been in Ibadan, I want to, because there are quite a lot of ladies also listening to you. I have friends at the Polytechnic of Ibadan. I have friends at the University of Ibadan that are also interested in sports. Have you met ladies of like minds?
Very well.
And do you more like maybe have, say, okay, a thing that happens in the world right now is becoming a normal, like a WhatsApp group, or a Telegram platform that you share?
When we have a WhatsApp group we are just chatting, does that equivalent to playing on the field and going for matches? It does not. I'll answer his questions.
Okay.
Even the ones that they are still existing, as in let's say the Angels and the likes from the East, I think
they take Bayelsa Queens,
yes, they are just doing it as an avenue to just provide, as in to get those ladies busy. But we should take it a step further. It's not like just engaging people. Even if we have to go on the street now, despite we have Oluyole Warriors, go and ask any primary or secondary school boys that are all students that watch football very well, they can hardly mention 3 or 5 players
from 3SC.
from 3SC, even in the whole league. But ask them from Premier League, La Liga, they can go on, and even the ones you don't know, they will give you their names, the way they transfer and everything. So I think it's government and individual that they should see into this, that is an avenue to even make more money, to have those Western country that they are venturing into it. They know about the concept, they understand the concept. But if it has to do with that, if you don't understand the concept of a thing, they said if I've forgotten the adage now, that if something is not known, to abuse it is inevitable. Well, please paraphrase, please take me where
I'm sure people understand what you're
so
saying.
please, if that is the case, there's people that really understand that can put you through on how for to venture into it, to make your money and even make it much better than any other business. If all those Premier League owners are not making income, they won't continue venturing into it. But there is a way. We've even designed a way that, okay, once you put so amount there, in return you are going to get so thing.
Now that's what I'm getting at. That the reason I asked for a platform that you met is that there probably might be someone. Yeah, we were at a particular lady's birthday. Just okay, I and Sadiq, I remember she was celebrating her birthday. She does it every year, and she organized a female. She's a lady. She was celebrating 60, but she does it every year. A female competition yearly, whereby they have quite a lot of female academy in Ibadan come to play. Now I know you want to take it a step further. Have a 3SC league. Now you said you've drawn up plans to probably make it profitable for whoever wants to invest. Now there are quite a lot of people who have this money. They don't know anything about it. They don't know how to invest.
That is why I'm here.
Exactly. That is why I'm asking if you have more like a consortium, like minds that you can put exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And maybe you should add this. Have you made any moves? What are the moves that you have made?
Yes,
I was going to ask that too.
Yes, for me to be here, I've said I'm not the only one doing this. We've written to Omajurosun Club. We've written to CCI and some few let me say mogajis that we know around that. But their fear is that, okay, if I drop so amount, what is coming back? But we are like, if you call us to explain on how this thing is going to be profitable, we have the plans, we have everything planned out. But it's not something we can just disclose on the air, because we don't want people to just hijack the idea. So if they call us on how they can journey it through to be a profitable business to them, and the people that they are playing will also showcase their talent and skills, it's going to be a very wonderful partnership with anybody that wants to do it. And I can tell you, if they can play it the way we've planned it, it's going to be a wow business to them.
And maybe this will just be like, it will be like a piece of advice, because I know that there are some female football clubs, in Ibadan.
And academies.
Yes, and where they play competitions. And maybe if you can just also approach the coaches, even male coaches, and also coaches who are also
the owners
part of the female football.
The owner of those, let me say, academies or those grassroots, they are not ready to register, or let me say, they are afraid to register in the Premier League.
Okay.
Because their fear is that, okay, if they put in so amount,
the logistics funding,
you understand that what is going to be their profit. That is why they just make it like a ceremonial something, that okay, charity something. But they should take it. I mean, they should look beyond charity. If you want to do charity, do charity. If you don't do charity with something that can also bring income, but because they don't understand the concept of how to bring back the money, that is why they just narrow it to be a charity avenue.
There's quite a lot of concepts you are yet to grab in Nigeria. Ifeanyi invested heavily at some point, and what is he getting back? I mean, Kano had invested in, was it not BMO? At the end of the day, he pulled out after about 3 years. So I obviously get your points.
But I think as big as Oyo State is, it will not be
It
too good
doesn't
that
speak well of
Oyo
them.
State does not have a
female
female
team.
team.
And we used to have a
it's-
basketball team also, but
at least, yeah, where is the basketball team? Look at the NWFL.
Yeah.
Look at the Bayelsa Queens. Look at
Nasarawa
at
Moses,
least
FC
you have the
Queens,
likes of
Edo
Monde
Queens.
Gift, doing wonders. You have the likes of Rashidat Ajibade,
Ajibade.
who are out of the
Yeah.
country through FC Robo.
FC Robo Queens, yeah.
So if Oyo State and look at 3SC as big, in fact 3SC is a sports club, not necessarily a football club.
But
Alone.
3SC does not even have
No,
a
you-
feeders team anymore.
3SC should have a female team. 3SC should have a handball
Basketball
team,
team,
basketball
hockey
team.
team.
Look at Kano Pillars.
Yeah.
So I think Oyo State government needs to look into this and try to establish a female football team. If we start from there, we have the facility right there. So if we cannot make use of the facility and also need to carry the ladies along, this Grace, she's doing very well.
Yeah,
and you have many of them out there.
I'm shocked that we are having contracts in female football. I mean, that's
Yeah,
something
in
brilliant.
fact, there is an
That's
ID
something-
card clearly stated.
That's something that
Clearly
even
stated.
the male football itself can draw inspiration from. That was why I wanted to emphasize on that fact, because I know the big guns in Nigeria like to work on contracts to a very large extent, and if we come to paint pictures for them and we are not making it to a very large extent contractual, they might think it's just more like building castles in a year. But brilliant one, just like you said. And like I said, I abandoned my project at some point because I got to interview about 3 female ladies. One from Sure Babes in Ilorin,
Yeah.
another one from Omidiran Academy was in Lagos.
Is it Lagos?
I'm not sure.
Omidiran
right
or
now.
what?
I
Osun
think
State?
Or
It
Osun
was
State,
from-
yeah,
Yeah.
Osun State. And at the end of the day, they really never had anything palatable to. And everything I was also putting on ground. When I read the first few paragraphs myself, it made no sense to me, so I had to abandon it.
Who is your idol? Your football idol?
Ronaldo.
You see, you two, you have gone to the mail. And Ronaldo. So you decided to pick a male footballer.
Yes.
You are
know-
not talking Megan Rapinoe.
Ah.
You are not
Or
talking.
Francisca Odega.
No, what I'm agitating for is not that I am negating, or let me say
I understand.
yeah,
I understand.
but it's just like we should have an avenue that, okay, even as those people prosper, we should also prosper. I go for Ronaldo, she go for Aziza Oshoala. It's not that I don't know but with that you cannot even in the general now, as in overall. I'm sure even there are some people that they are football lovers that they cannot even mention 10 female footballers in the world. So we can start from here. We can start from here.
All right, and we have started. we hope to have you soon again,
Okay.
so that we look at the development. Thank you very much, Grace, for coming.
Thank you for
She's
having me.
Grace Araola.
Yeah.
She is a footballer. She plays for Coral Ladies FC. Thank you for listening to Esho Ibode, Samuel Ajibola. Tomorrow we'll come back. Have a wonderful day.